Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is a video demonstration of friction fire, particularly the bow drill by Primitive Progression. So this is how it comes in the package. It would be folded up. You know, a little bit of padding and stuff. Just an example to see, you know, how it's packaged. But then, so the tools you'll need, the baton's really handy, and then the next thing is a knife. If you had a folding saw, like a Baco or a Silky Gamboy, that would be really helpful, but not necessary. And then this newspaper, you know, you can cheat a little bit and use that later on. Alright, so hopefully I don't get too ahead of myself. We'll go through the components first. So this is basically a how-to. I tried to write some directions. It's so hard to like keep everything organized and, you know, use words. So the main components. Number one, the bow. Now see, this is a steam bent honeysuckle bow. Got leather wraps. Got antique brass tacks here. And then this is number 60 braided bank line by the five Kernels Outdoor. But yeah, so steam bent. I heat it up in a steam box and then I bend it over a forum. This allows your spindle, you know, so it ain't scraping along there. Then the next item we have is so I do stone handholds. So this is a river rock, and then I'll clean it up real good, and then I melt beeswax over it to kind of make the color a little nicer. And then you also put beeswax down in that socket to reduce friction, kind of like grease. But you want to avoid grease, because you don't want to like smear grease on your hearth board or your spindles, or else that can cause a problem. So wax, I think, is best. And then the spindle and the hearth be the next two main components. So this is like just recycled newspaper I get from the library. So this is cottonwood. This is split by hand. I use a saw sometimes, but so this is split by hand, and then I turned on a lathe to get that real nice, you know, so it ain't wobbling around on you. And then all my kits come with a sample burn. So, you know, just to get started, some sort of reference point. But this is also cottonwood. I use a table saw, so I mean I use like electric. So that's the main thing here. So bow, hearth, spindle, handhold is the main components. But then you got your extras. These are more extras. But let's see here. So you got a little tin. Comes with a Ranger band, you know. But inside the tin we have a few, kind of cheating, kind of just using your resources, you know. So a little piece of wax, you know, to add your lubrication. You just take a corner and kind of work it in there a little bit. You can does a better job if you use a lighter, you know, to melt it and drip it in. But then it's like, do I want to use a lighter in the demonstration video? I don't know. I guess not. But just so that when this is spinning in there, it's got something between the stick and the rock. Spare string, and this is ground chaga. So this is I mean, it's natural. It grows on birch trees a little bit north of me. I'm in Ohio, so it grows as far south as like northern Michigan. That's what I think. Who knows exactly? But So this gives you an advantage. And then your leather cool catcher. This is just, you know, you put it under your hearth board, so when you make your ember, you know, it don't go into your blanket or whatever. I like putting a blanket down, keep my knees from getting, you know, muddy. So let's start off with the instant gratification approach. So that is, you just unpackage it, and you go to town, right? Let's see, I'm gonna organize this a little bit. Cameras, you know, kind of make me go a little crazy, but try our best. Actually, before we get started, the one thing you want to do is get your bird's nest ready before you make your ember. So to get your bird's bird's nest. My favorite natural method is grapevine. So that's like the shaggy type vines that cling to trees. I thought about, well, they don't come with my kit because there wouldn't be enough for me to send it to all the kits. But I mean, just to get the basic idea of it, this is just jute, and this comes with a kit. You know, a good, I don't know, like 50 feet of it or something. So to turn this into your bird's nest, you untwist it, and then you pull out the individual fibers, right? And then once you have the individual fibers, you take the fiber again, and then you untwist this. So they're actually twisted in two different directions. The main bundle's twisted one way, the individual strands are twisted the other way. So once you do that, once you twist it back against itself, you get these fibers. So this is like, I mean, you could use a lot of things. If you had cattail, the inner barks to a lot of trees, like cottonwood, its inner bark is real good for this. So then you fluff this up, but obviously we don't want to sit here wait for me to do that. So I got some in my pocket, right? So you need about 3 or 4 pieces, about 5 inches long. You'll make a nest about this big, and this should be enough. I haven't actually made a fire start to finish in a little while, so hopefully nothing goes too wrong, you know. But so to fluff that up, kind of roll it into a ball, flatten it like a pancake. Oh well. So I don't know exactly the technique here, but you want it to be like densely packed, but you want it like flat with a little divot in the middle, you know, and then you'll put your coal in there, put your coal in here, feel like a little bird would put his eggs in there. Put your coal in there, then you fold it on itself. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's see how things go. Alright. Now I'm going to do one more thing. So if I didn't do the thing, I'd probably get a little flame and then it'd poof out. So this is your main hank of it. You know, you'll get a lot of fires out of this. And then the next thing it comes with is a little bit of fat wood, right? A few ounces. What you want to do before you start, split these in. That's what the baton's for. So if you had like a silky or a Baco, you know, you could just cut this from a tree. Anything will work. And just split this off into a few matchsticks, so that when you get that little poof of flame, it only, maybe wear safety glasses. Get a little poof of flame. You want to have something that's, you know, standing by, that you can, you know, something substantial you can get started immediately. So that's why, if you were wanting to go straight, I got this on cardboard, just if you're wondering why it's weird. But yeah, so the ground wasn't super flat. But yeah, flat ground is really important. Like grass makes things very difficult. But for like a camera, I don't know why I picked here exactly, but this is where we're at. So basically, you're only going to get a little proof of flame. You want something that you can immediately get started afterward. And then right here, so these are jute candles, just the same thing that I dip into paraffin wax. Actually a mixture of waxes because it's like my leftovers from making the other fire stuff. So you know this, you could also just use the newspaper, you know. I'll use 2 of these. I'm actually kind of nervous that I'm going to botch this up, and if I botch it then I'll have to start over, and I don't even know. So here we go. Alright. Now we're ready. Alright, first thing, I don't like to put boot prints on my hearthboard. Maybe that's weird. But so the main thing you don't want, if your board is tipped like this direction, your spindle is going to try to slide out real easy. So if it's tipped a little bit back, that's not that big of a deal because the spindle is going to be more likely to stay on that shelf. But here you've cut out most of the shelf. Alright. So tipping back's a little bit. Tipping back a little bit's alright. Tipping forward at all is going to cause a lot of trouble. So then to load your spindle, you know, hold them parallel to each other. I always kind of rest on my knees, so that's, you'll see that later when you kind of, for the proper form. See marks, they all come with a sample burn, so you'll have a mark about where you put it. And then parallel, tension out,